Turkish and Syrian forces are searching for two Turkish fighter jet crew shot down over the Mediterranean yesterday morning. Syria has confirmed it attacked the plane after it entered the area above its territorial waters. Turkey said it will decide on a response once all the facts are known.
Turkey's Prime Minister and military leaders rushed to hold an emergency meeting on hearing their jet was missing, but held back from blaming Syria for hours. At an earlier press conference, Recep Tayyip Erdogan was cautious about pointing the finger at their neighbours. Shortly afterwards, they released a statement saying the jet was brought down by Syria. Turkey said its search and rescue operation was continuing and that it would take decisive measures once the full details of the incident emerged. But as gunboats search the Mediterranean for the F-4 jet and its crew, questions are being raised about exactly where the jet was when it was shot down. Syria admits firing at a target which entered its airspace, but says it didn't know it was a Turkish plane. The incident comes at a time when there are reports of escalating violence in Syria. This unverified footage from the north of the country appears to show protesters being shot at. The UN says the international response has been inadequate.
The longer we wait, the darker Syria's future becomes. This process cannot be open-ended. It is urgent that our consultations yield real results soon.
An estimated 1.5 million Syrians are in need of humanitarian aid. Many are risking their lives to escape over the border to Turkey.
Thanks be to God we escaped from the tanks and planes shelling in Syria. We have left our homes, lands and all of our belongings and came to Turkey.
Relations between these two neighbours are already tense. Julie Peacock, BBC News.
Our correspondent Jonathan Head is in Istanbul and he said the Turkish authorities are being cautious.
Well, there's been another statement from the Turkish side. This has come from the Turkish President, Abdullah Gül. He has stated that Turkey will not say any more about this incident until it's ascertained exactly what happened. It's not contesting the view of the Syrian government that's been put out, that the Syrians say this aircraft was very clearly inside Syrian territory, approaching the coast very fast and low when they shot it down. That has not been challenged by the Turkish authorities, but President Gül did say at this stage Turkey is not clear whether it was or was not inside Syrian or Turkish territory. He also said that it's not unusual for aircraft sometimes to stray into the territory of neighbours when they're on operations. The suggestion being there that Turkey is questioning why Syria, the Syrian government or the forces took the decision to shoot this plane down rather than trying to find out what it was doing. So at this stage, Turkey is keeping an open mind. It's been very careful in its response. It doesn't want to provoke a worse crisis until it's absolutely sure of its facts. But it is not yet fully accepting the Syrian version of events, that the plane was shot down as it came very close to the Syrian coast.
So there is the potential then for this to escalate?
The potential is there. I think Turkey will be extremely cautious about allowing things to escalate. They already have a real dilemma over how they approach Syria. They're supporting the opposition. They're putting full pressure on President Assad to go, but they have backed off very strongly in recent months from the idea they could use their extremely powerful armed forces to intervene. There has been this talk about safe zones, humanitarian corridors inside Syria. The Turkish government has made it clear that would be a very dangerous step that it would not take unless things got much worse and it had full international support. And I think by the same token, they wouldn't want this to turn into a confrontation between their two armed forces. They would avoid that if at all possible. But they will want a satisfactory explanation from Syria about why it did what it did and all the facts established. And I think if they're not satisfied, there will be public pressure on the Turkish government to take some kind of punitive response against Syria. We simply don't know what those choices would be, and there's certainly quite a limited range of choices available to the Turkish government.
Jonathan Head talking to me earlier. Let's look at the headlines again this morning. Torrential rains caused flooding across northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland.